My name's Mark Schubert. I'm from Colorado Springs, and I'm the national team head coach and general manager for United States Swimming. I took my first Pacific Institute course in the spring of 1974. My first experience with the education was very powerful for me, changing the way I think, changing the way I visualize, changing the way I saw my life as I wanted it to be. And it was extremely powerful for our athletes. My first Olympic trials as a coach, our club team put 6 Olympians on the team. One of the girls won every freestyle event and the 400 individual medley. One of the guys broke 2 world records in the 400 freestyle and the 1500 freestyle, and went on as a 17-year-old to win gold medals and break world records at the Montreal Olympic Games. So the first experience was extremely positive. A young boy who started taking the Pacific Institute course in 1974, named Brian Goodell. At the time he was 15 years old. He really grasped the concept immediately and lived the concept. Wrote the affirmations, the goal cards, studied the materials constantly. And in swimming, when you're training, you're spending 4 or 5 hours a day in the water. And although you're training with your teammates, you're really living with yourself, and you have a lot of time to think. And he used that time to visualize. So every day in practice, when he was doing a set or racing someone in practice, he would visualize himself racing at the Olympics. And he would visualize himself winning the gold medal. He was a surprise member of the team, making the team in 2 events, the 400 meter free and the 1500 meter free in Montreal. The first event that he swam was the 1500 meter free, and he was scared to death. Yeah, he just turned 17. I remember one of my best friends was giving him a rub down, and he was freezing. And obviously, never having been on a stage that big before. And he said, well, why don't you think about your girlfriend? So he got him calmed down, getting his mind off of the task. But in the middle of the race itself, 1500 is what we call the mile, and it's the longest Olympic pool race. Brian was in 3rd place, and a lot slower than his pace when he broke the world record at the trials. And he started to visualize himself standing on the awards podium in 3rd place, getting the bronze medal. And he started to tell himself, well, 3rd place is pretty good for a 17-year-old. I could be happy with 3rd place. And then he thought, wait a minute. I've done all this visualization and all this work, and I have an opportunity to make my dream come true. Whatever it takes, I'm going to make my dream come true. And he swam the last 400 meters faster than any human had ever swum the last 400 meters. Actually, close to his world record in the 400 meters. Won the gold medal. And I totally attribute it to hard work, but more importantly, the skills that he learned between the ears with the Pacific Institute. Well, because of the success that we had in the early years, this was obviously skills that not only athletes need to have, but people need to have. And I've pretty regularly had this course taught to my teams and tried to reinforce the thinking and have the athletes reinforce it, within each other. And I think it has a lot to do with the success that my teams have had over the years, both nationally and internationally. But more importantly, I think it has a lot to do with the success that they've had after swimming and the way they've applied the skills in business, and maybe more importantly with their families and with their children. So I think it's been a tremendous gift that we've been able to give our athletes. When I think of the Pacific Institute, the thing that jumps out at me, and maybe this is just me, as the most important thing that you learn is that it's not just important to set goals. Everybody has wannabes and wish-to-bes. but it's looking at yourself as you are. In other words, your dream, your goal for yourself, look at yourself in the present tense as you are that person. And in athletics, we tell our swimmers, don't want to be an Olympian. You are an Olympic champion. And if you see yourself as an Olympic champion, every deed, every day will be done as an Olympic champion would do them. And you apply that to the rest of your life, not only are you going to be successful, but you're going to be extremely happy. Since I've been involved with the USA national team since the 1976 Olympics in Montreal, I've really had an opportunity to observe and coach the best of the best. And not only are they some of the best athletes, but they're some of the best people. However, what often happens when you have this goal of competing in the Olympics is your mind kind of stops there. And a lot of athletes really haven't visualized and set goals for themselves past the Olympic Games. They have been so focused that that's the pinnacle of their life, and they get a little bit lost after the Olympic Games. So we're hoping to have Lou teach these skills to athletes after the Olympic Games. If they continue with their athletic career, certainly it'll be appropriate and very beneficial to them from an athletic standpoint. But we're going to do it with the focus of this is skills for the rest of your life, so they can be as successful or more successful with the rest of their life, with their families, with their children, with their careers. I think the thing that I've always been most impressed with Lou Tyson, the Pacific Institute, is how it teaches you to think, how it teaches you as far as self-talk, and to basically live your goals in the present tense. I'm just very appreciative to Lou Tyson and all the people at the Pacific Institute for what they've given me, and that's basically the opportunity to work with young people, improve their self-image, help them to live their dreams. I've coached 26 American Olympians who have won 29 Olympic gold medals, who have set more than 50 world records, and who have set over 300 American records.